You take the man and you throw him out. Hey, what's up y'all? It's Sarah Chung and we're gonna make up and chill today because I've been in a funk. I'm sure everybody's been in a funk. And I just wanted to do my makeup while giving y'all some unlicensed big sister advice. And that's exactly what we're gonna do today. I got your questions over here. I got my makeup mirror over here. By the way, if you want to be in a future episode, just email right here. And I want to thank today's sponsor, Magnetic, which is a lash brand. It's a female-owned business because we support women on this channel. This is the really popular magnetic lash. I'm sure you've seen this on Instagram. Ariana Grande follows them. Doja Cat posted about them. It's just a really easy, no-nonsense way of applying your lashes, especially if you don't like using lash glue and all that kind of stuff. They have over 20 styles and it's magnetic, so it has a really strong hold. It lasts all day and you basically just use this liquid liner. It's very pigmented. It's basically like any other liquid liner. You apply this, let it dry, and then the lashes just snap on. And the reason why the hold is so strong is because there are 6 separate little magnets on the lash band itself. So it's got that gorilla grip. Also, this box is super convenient. I didn't know this before because I'm a dumbass. You can actually take the lash off like this, and this itself is a magnetic strip, so you can just put this back on like that. And it's just really easy storage. I was so dumb. When I first started using these, I didn't know this was a magnetic strip, so I pulled this off. But this package makes it so much easier to store your lashes. I'll be using these later on, so if you want to see me apply these, then stick around. But anyway, we're gonna get into all of y'all's problems. I'm priming my face with the Milani Prime and Protect SPF 30, like always. This comes from a fan that wishes to be anonymous. Hi Sarah, buckle up because this is a doozy. My boyfriend is very affectionate sporadically. He just generally doesn't pay a lot of attention or put in effort for me unless I go out of my way to ask. Sometimes when I'm talking about something personal, he's disinterested until I get visibly upset. Since going long distance, we called barely a few times a month, occasionally stopping to say, "You have 15 minutes left." We should have a red flag tally. We don't have quality talks and he's always choosing naps over time with me. I get it, he's busy, but it hurts. I brought up the lack of communication with him before. He says he knows but does nothing about it. What should I do? I can count 4 red flags already in your email. Before I read the second part, I'm gonna use the Fenty Beauty Foundation in 200. One more thing, I recently found out that a friend of mine is going through this too, but our boyfriends are looking at girls posing and dressing very provocatively on Instagram, and it's really hurting our self-esteems. We don't look like those girls, we don't dress like them, and we don't have their bodies. We both brought this up with our significant other, but both of their excuses were some variation of fuck off. Her boyfriend quite literally said that. Personally, I'm okay with porn because there's more difficulty in trying to get in touch with the person on the other side of the screen, but with things commonly used like Instagram, it's so much easier. All my significant other had to say was that he's just looking, he's not reaching out to them, and the topic just dies from there, but it still bothers me. I've just been suffering in silence. Please help. This is what you gotta do with your man. You take the man and you throw him out. He is messy. He obviously doesn't give a shit about you. You obviously aren't happy. You're not getting the affection you want. You aren't getting the communication you want. You've brought this up with him multiple times and he's not changing anything, which is him telling you basically that he doesn't give a shit about you. Stopping in the middle of a call saying you have 15 minutes left, that's also him telling you that he does not give a shit about you. What's that quote that's like, when someone tells you who they really are, believe them? Like, maybe he's a good man, but he obviously doesn't care about you, doesn't care about your feelings, doesn't care that you're not fulfilled in this relationship. And especially when you're talking about something very personal, like he's disinterested, like that's a really big red flag to me, because your partner is supposed to be someone you can open up to and talk to about the most personal things, and y'all aren't even comfortable being vulnerable with each other, then this boy is canceled. On the second half, about Instagram. This might not be a popular opinion. I'm gonna apply some concealer before I start going off about Instagram. I'm not typically a jealous person, but I just don't think it's respectful to be liking all these girls' pictures on Instagram. Like, if you and your significant other are cool with it, you both agree that it's okay, then sure, that's fine. But I feel like it's totally valid if you don't feel comfortable with it, because it's not like porn, like it's social media. Like, I totally get that when you're in a relationship, like you still have eyes, you still find people attractive. Like, sometimes you can still find attractive people attractive. If you see a hot girl or a hot guy, whatever, you can show your significant other and talk about it together. Like, that I think is like totally normal. But when you're liking pictures on social media behind your significant other's back without telling them, just doing it on your own, it's kind of shady, because it's not like porn. It's not like you're looking at something and it's just like visual, it's an interaction. You're liking their pictures, and that girl will see that this guy has liked her picture, and it's kind of like an interaction, and that just opens the door to more interaction. Like, what if this girl slides in his DMs? Like, is this guy not gonna reply? I really doubt it. But to each their own. But you're obviously not comfortable, and you've had that conversation with him. His excuse is fuck off. So I agree. He has told you many times that he does not give a shit about how you feel about anything. So it's time to move on. Let me just make sure this is all blended before I go to the next question. I'm gonna powder my face with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Loose Setting Powder in Banana. I don't know why I keep looking. Like, I've used this powder so many times. Okay, this is from Victoria. Hey Sarah, first of all, I want to say thank you so much for doing these videos. It's a really good idea and such a great way to interact with your viewers. Thank you. So I need your advice, sis. I'm going through a bit of a tough time at the moment. I'm in a minimum wage job as a housekeeper working at a hotel. I don't have a university degree, and I'm not studying, and I live at home with my mom. I do have dreams and goals, but I'm scared to even try. My goals are ambitious and would be almost impossible. It would be extremely hard to achieve them, and I don't think I'm good enough, smart enough, or pretty enough. I know I should quiet these thoughts and go for what I want, because I know I'll never be satisfied with life if I don't even try, but the idea is so terrifying. I think I've been scared, anxious about everything my entire life, and the future is something that scares me even to think about. But the older I get, the more I realize I'm wasting time. Do you have any advice on goals, dreams, ambitions? Do you think it's better to reach high even if you don't make it, or do you think pipe dreams are overrated and people should settle for the norm? Yikes. This is a really real and serious question, and I feel like not enough people talk about it. It's so terrifying trying to go for what you want, and I'm obviously talking from a very privileged position, because honestly, if I'm thinking about what I would rather do right now other than to make videos and do makeup, I really don't think there's anything. Like, I'm really lucky. I'm incredibly grateful that things worked out the way it did, but it didn't always look that way. Just a year ago, I was still living with my family, and I just finished school, and it was when I had to decide, okay, do I want to do YouTube seriously, or do I want to just quit? And a lot of times it didn't look like it was going to work out. It wasn't paying the bills. And how many people do you see on YouTube who are really successful, who speak English as a second language? It was really scary. And even my closest friends and closest family members were like, are you sure you want to pursue this? Because it seems really unrealistic, and you're going to have to get a job that pays at some point. And I'm so glad that I fought through those doubts and really stuck to it. With a lot of luck, of course, it all worked out. But I know that even if it didn't work out, I knew that I gave it everything and I really tried. And I feel like that's something that you owe to yourself. From what I'm hearing, you only have two choices. It's either you continue with the status quo, or you make a change and you try. Like, there's no in between. And right now, you're obviously not content with your status quo, because you're asking this question and you're saying that you're not happy and you have bigger dreams. You didn't say exactly what your goals and ambitions are, but whatever it is, I really think you should try. And you don't have to give up everything in your current life just to try, right? Like, maybe take some classes at night, or if you're trying to do YouTube, make some videos while you're also working. So don't completely give up your plan B, but don't make plan B your entire life. There's so much setting powder in the air. And this is something I always think, like, especially when we're talking about careers, like more artsy, unstable industries, like more creative industries. Yes, the likelihood of you making a career out of something creative is statistically low, but you are not a statistic, you're a person, and that statistic isn't a reason why you can't achieve that dream. Does that make sense? Like, if there's 1% chance that you're gonna make it, that means 1% out of 100 is gonna make it, and why can't that one person be you? You know what I mean? Am I making sense? Anyway, Victoria, I really hope it works out. Sounds like you're ready to try something new, and yeah, I hope for the best for you. Damn, I've been powdering my face for 2 minutes now. Now we're gonna do some brows. Okay, I did my brows off camera because I can't give advice and do my brows at the same time. Next, I'm gonna use my favorite bronzer, ColourPop's Coconut Beach. This question comes from Riza. Hi Sarah, sorry this is long, but I really need advice. I have this friend who I used to consider my best friend. However, last year, she started to date my ex-boyfriend, someone I wasn't completely over, and she knew this. It doesn't sound like a best friend to me. She never told me about it, but always seeing them together or seeing things on her phone gave me an idea of what was happening and made me really paranoid and upset for a while. In August 2019, they broke up and she told me all about it and apologized for getting with him without telling me or asking me if I was okay with it. I was there for her throughout the heartbreak despite feeling so sad about what she did to me. I felt like she picked him over our friendship, but I was willing to get over it because she's my closest friend. Recently, I've been seeing them together and noticing the signs all over again, and this is making me feel so horrible and I don't know why. I just can't help help but feel so insecure about myself and who I am. I compare myself to her in every single aspect. I can't even be happy for her when good things happen to her now because it makes me feel so terrible about myself, and I don't want to be that toxic, jealous friend. I also can't just stop being her friend because we run in the same friendship groups and we're in the same classes. I've tried and it just makes me feel worse having that awkwardness or loneliness. If I am being toxic, how can I stop and get over it? Be a good friend again while feeling secure within myself. Thank you so much for even reading all that. Love your video so much. Thank you. First of all, your friend is a snake. Dating your ex-boyfriend when you still liked your ex-boyfriend and she knew this, that is shady as hell in itself. The fact that she didn't ask you beforehand, the fact that she didn't tell you afterwards and only decided to tell you after the breakup is shady. And you were there for her when they broke up. And the fact that she is now with this guy again, knowing how much she hurt you, it just feels like either she doesn't know how much it's hurting you or she's putting herself over you in every situation over and over again. And she's done this twice. And is this really someone you can trust? Like, what was the point of apologizing the first time if she's just gonna go and date your ex-boyfriend again? It feels like you're her second choice. Like, she wants you when she can't have the boyfriend. And it's not fair for you. You shouldn't be somebody's second choice. She should respect how you feel. And it's just not cool to do this to a friend. I think if you really want to stay friends with this girl, you just have to take a break from it all while they're still together until you get your feelings in check and like really process how you feel about the whole situation, because it feels like a lot to you. I think it's best to take yourself away from the situation to really think through whether or not this friend is still even worth it after she's broken your trust, and maybe having a conversation with her and sit her down and talk to her about how much she has hurt you. So just communicate those feelings to her, and maybe they'll break up again and that will be it. Maybe you'll get over him and this won't bother you as much. But either way, right now you're feeling really hurt, and I think you need time and a resolution with this friend to make things okay again. So I think just be honest with her about how you feel. Now I'm going to use my Jouer highlighter in Rose Quartz. I'm just going to create a nose bridge, just a little bit right here, and blend everything with a wet sponge. Next question comes from Marla. Hi Sarah, hope you're having a lovely quarantine. My question is, how old should you start using anti-aging products such as serums? Is 20 years old too young? P.S. I love you and your videos, and I'm so glad you bless us with skincare tips in your existence. Warm regards, Marla. Well, thank you, Marla. No, 20 is not too young. So there's this myth that if you start anti-aging products too early, that when you're older it will stop working. That's not true. People don't really get desensitized to actives like vitamin C like as you age. Like, there's no evidence for that. So there's no age that's really too early. I mean, unless you're 3, because basically what BHA and all that is supposed to do is just to mimic your like super fast cell regeneration that you have when you're super young. I think the biggest thing is just wearing sunscreen. Obviously that's anti-aging. That's basically the strongest anti-aging tool you have to protect your skin at a young age. Like, you're never too young to start wearing sunscreen. And using BHA, like having a really simple routine, like protecting your skin, is prevention, and that to me is anti-aging. But if you're talking about starting tretinoin or using retinols and using chemical peels and all that, I don't think you need a treatment for something that you don't have yet. So if you don't have any fine lines, don't go do like laser for fine lines. Like, it doesn't make sense to target things that you don't already have. But a serum with antioxidants or vitamin C, that kind of stuff is good at any age. Just because it's labeled anti-aging doesn't mean that it's only for a certain age group. So no, 20 is not too young. Next, we're gonna test out the new Fenty cream blush. I got this in the shade Fuego Flush, so I'm just gonna dab a little bit on my cheeks with my fingers. As soon as I bought this, it sold out. So I'm glad that other people see in this blush what I see in it too, because this is a really unique color. I don't think many brands do blushes that are this orange, and this is a very like yellowish orange. It's not even like orange with pink, it's like straight up orange. I feel like it looks really good against yellow skin tones like mine. Look how pretty. By the way, I'm bringing this up all the way to the temples. I'm saying this like I'm doing a tutorial. I have no idea what look I'm gonna do. I'm just doing makeup for therapy, honestly, because I haven't seen my therapist in weeks. So cute. Okay, now for the eyes. Ooh, I just got this Bretman Rock Wet n Wild palette. I really want to use this. So I'm gonna mix the shades Coconut Connoisseur with Feline Myself. Actually, I'm gonna apply this first because I want a pale purple right in the inner corner. Ooh, I can put a little bit of the white eyeshadow just right right underneath my brows as well. This question comes from Sarah Long. I know you're bi, so do you have any advice on how to flirt with girls in a way that doesn't make it just seem like you're being nice? I have the opposite problem. Sometimes girls are nice to me and I always think they're flirting with me. And then my friends are like, no, you're reading too much into it. I'm like, I swear to God, she's into me. I'm usually wrong. Sometimes I'm right though. I'm really, really bad at flirting with girls. But like what I do when I want a girl to know that I like her is I'm just really nice to her. Most of the time it involves food. Like I would buy her food. If you buy her enough food, she'll get the point. Or you could just, you know, increase the amount of time y'all are spending together, just the two of you. And then maybe when you guys hang out, try to feel out her dating history, see if she's into girls. And I'm sure if she's into girls and y'all are just alone together all the time, she's gonna get the point. Okay, let me do this in a corner. This question is from Ivy. Dear Sarah, I flunked out of my first year of university because I was lazy and I was in a bad place mentally. I'm currently doing courses part-time and finally figured out a career path I want to pursue. However, my parents do not know I flunked out and am expecting me to graduate on time even though it's impossible for me to. What should I do? This is an issue in the Asian community. I don't know if you're Asian, but like this is a really big problem. In our families, I feel like kids always feel like they owe a career to their parents because generally the parents sacrifice a lot to raise their kids. Your life is yours, and even when your parents are gone, you're going to have to take responsibility and enjoy or suffer the consequences of your decisions, especially when it's something so significant like your career. That is going to have a huge part to do with your happiness. Maybe not forever, but it's a really big part of your life and you can't make that choice just to please someone else. So the fact that you're doing courses and figured out a career path for you is amazing. Like most people don't even have that. Like I don't think you have a problem. Like everybody's process is different. Everybody's path is different. Everybody takes different amount of time. Even if you have to take 8 years to finish college, like you're not responsible for anybody but yourself. So just be easy on yourself, and if your parents are mad at you, they're mad at you. At least you're doing something that you want to do, and that's the most important part. Okay, so I started over on the eyes because I changed my mind. This is what happens when I don't plan. I'm just really fucking indecisive. I've decided to do green eyes instead because look at all these greens. I feel like I'm missing out. So I'm gonna take Venomous. So I'm gonna apply this all over. This question is anonymous. How do I stop feeling like I'm wasting my youth? I'm only 15, but I constantly feel like this is supposed to be the best part of my life and I'm just wasting it. Am I? P.S. Love you in your videos. Love you too, but 15 is young as hell, girl. Man, 15 was a hard year for me. I didn't really know who I was. I feel like I still don't really know who I am. Like it really takes age and maturity to make a woman. I just think you learn so much and you grow so much and you develop so much as a woman as you age. And like 15, there's so much about you that you haven't discovered yet at 15. Like you're gonna be good. This is not your best year. I mean, live your life to the fullest, but I assure you better things are coming your way. I forgot to mention, but I'm blending the green with the dark because I want to create a halo eye, if you can't tell. And the key when you're doing a halo eye, especially if you're like me and you don't have a lot of lid space, is to go up even on top of your crease. Now I'm gonna take another brush, and I'm gonna take Anaconda and just blend out the outer corners. Okay, now I'm just gonna pick up King of the Jungle and apply this right here and then blend it all out. This really does take a lot of blending, but the key is to blend enough that it looks seamless, but also don't blend too much that it ruins the contrast. Next, I'm going to use an eyeliner that I picked up from an Asian beauty store. It's called Heroin Make Smooth Liquid Eyeliner, and Tiff put me on this because her eyeliner always looks great and it never budges, so I kept bugging her about where she got her eyeliner, and this, I'm sharing her secrets. And then I'm taking the Innisfree Skinny Microliner. I'm just going to tight line my upper lash line. Okay, we got another skincare question. This is from Emily. I've been struggling with acne for years. I'm using benzoyl peroxide, salicylic acid cleanser, and leave-on exfoliant for about 2 years. Only have 5 products in my skincare routine. Good girl. I've maintained similar products for a few years. I have literally tried everything at one point in time and nothing has worked. I'm currently being prescribed antibiotics for my skin, which I think is really quite damaging to my health, and want to be able to get off it as soon as possible. My acne is not incredibly severe or cystic, but rather a hell of a lot of whiteheads, discoloration, and some breakouts. Especially because my acne is skin colored, it doesn't look that bad sometimes, so I feel like I'm not taken very seriously. Like me being insecure isn't loud because it's not a huge red spots all the time. I've worked so hard and have literally shaped my life around improving my skin, but nothing works. People think I'm lazy and that I don't take care of myself because it's not getting better, and I can't help but feel unattractive all the time. Okay, first of all, it doesn't matter what your skin concern is. You're allowed to feel insecure about it, and it doesn't matter what other people think. If you feel bad about it, that's valid. So I always recommend salicylic acid and benzoyl peroxide. You've already tried those and you're on antibiotics. I'm assuming if it's topical is clindamycin. If none of those work for you, the next logical step would be to talk to your dermatologist about trying tretinoin or maybe even getting on Accutane. But of course, ask your dermatologist about it because that has to be prescribed. But it sounds like if you have a lot of whiteheads and acne that's skin colored, they might be clogged pores or closed comedones, and the root problem of that could be just oily skin and excessive sebum production, which can be treated very effectively with tretinoin, so I would look into that. After trying that for a long time, there should be improvements, and if that doesn't work, look into possibly trying Accutane. I know that's pretty controversial, but many people have had really good results from it. Of course, talk to your dermatologist. You are definitely on the right track. Now it's just a matter of canceling out what products don't work, but there is hope. Ooh, next I'm going to show you guys how I put on my Glamnetic lashes. So this is the liner, and you already saw me apply liquid liner. So I like to use normal liquid liner and then apply this on top because sometimes I want to do a wing and I don't want my lash to go out to the wing. This should only be applied where you want the lash to be. And you can just do the thinnest line and it'll work perfect. And then I just wait for this to dry completely. Ooh, which lash should we use? I think I'm going to put on this pair. And what I like to do is I curl them beforehand. Just because I like my lashes really curly, you don't have to do this. Okay, now the liner should be completely dried. I'm just gonna apply it like that. And this is a big fat lash applied. And it doesn't budge, you can tug on it. It's just so easy. Now let's do the other one. And they are on. They look so dramatic. And I'm gonna take my Pat McGrath Fetish Eyes mascara, and I'm just gonna apply this on my bottom lashes. Before I start doing my lips, I'm just gonna answer one last question. This is from Kirsten. Hey, it's Kirsten here. Could I have some advice about running an Instagram and YouTube account? What would you normally think about before you post? I need some advice about how to grow and what I need to post. I love to hear from you. Can't wait for your new video. I don't think there's just one way of doing it, but something that I think about is when I'm scrolling through my feed, I make a mental note every time there's something that catches my eye or it's engaging or it's something that I really like, and then in my mind I try to think about what elements of that post made me stop and what elements of that post made me interested, and then I try to incorporate those elements into my own content. And this is the final look. Definitely a little bit heavy for me, but you know what? Makeup is fun and quarantine is the time to try looks that you normally wouldn't try. I hope you guys liked the video. Like I said, if you want to be featured in the next episode, just email me. And yeah, that's it. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, like the video for the algorithm, and I'll see you next week. Bye!